But now we're down in Studio B. I'm Martin Anderson. Live Studio B sessions are brought to you by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, introducing Taylor Ray.
So close and living with our heads down low, hoping we can find a little bit of ourselves where the rubber meets the road. You got a prime 79 black Chevy step van. I only got one thing on my mind, and we don't need no plan. So fire it up, breathe it in, so gotta do it now before we get old. Shake down your salty spirit, the one I used to know. Let your dreaming mind free your wandering soul, and we got a whole lot more to live for than this town. Let's put the old van into drive and go, making home on the road. It's 104 on the side of 85 at a rest stop, a heat gauge red line, and I got one thought: to pass the time. It ain't so great, but it could be worse, so we crack a couple cold ones to lift the curse, when all we gotta cheers to is being alive. We may be too broke now to cross the state line, but when you got nowhere to be, you can't make a bad time in. So shake down your salty spirit, the one I used to know. Let your dreaming mind free your wandering soul, and we got a whole lot more to live for than this town. Let's put the old van into drive and go, making home on the road. Making home on the road, yeah. Shake down your salty spirit, the one I used to know. Let your leaving mind free your wandering soul, and we got a whole lot more to live for than this town. Let's put the old van into drive and go, making home on the road. Making home on the road, yeah. Making home on the road, yeah. Making home on the road.
Home on the Road. That is a tune from Taylor Ray, performed live here in Studio B on WNCW. Welcome to Spindale.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
First time to Spindale?
Absolutely. First time in North Carolina.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Glad you made it through the state security lines. You made it in here.
I did. Yeah, I actually wasn't stopped.
Good.
Are you normally stopped? Okay.
No.
Good to
Well,
know.
sometimes if I'm forgetting about speed limits or something.
Of course, yeah. I'll make a note of that.
And, well, there's a song about being on the road, Home on the Road, from the wonderful new album, Mad 20s. And I kind of thought maybe you were going to play that one. That seems to be one of the more popular ones from what I'm hearing about this wonderful new album. And you've got a website that has a nice blog page talking about the origins of some of these songs.
Yep.
That was my favorite entry about the origins of that one. Oh. I feel like I've gotten to know that vehicle you were driving in based on what I've read about it.
Yes.
You have a way with words. Talk about the van or the inspiration of that song.
Yeah, so my partner and I had a 79 Chevy step van. It's like a UPS truck, but black and way creepier. And yeah, we built it out in multiple different ways. We traveled back and forth across the country from Colorado to California to Texas and back. And basically, it wasn't running very well any of the time that we had it. It would overheat like maybe every 50 miles. So we'd have to pull over and let it cool down. And we couldn't afford to fix it. So we just had to be patient. So yeah, that song, I got the inspiration. We were somewhere in Nevada on I-80, and we had to pull over and wait there for a couple hours, and it was so hot outside, so we were just sitting there like in our underwear drinking warm beers. I say cold beers in the song because it's a little more poetic. I
Yeah,
guess.
right.
But,
Poetic, creative.
but no,
license.
they were warm Heinekens. And there was something beautiful about that moment, even though it was not ideal.
Yeah.
We were young and broke, and that's kind of the only time that it's acceptable to do things like that.
Right. So I'm glad you acknowledged that
Yeah.
back then that you could do. You have a way with words. Your blogs are just wonderful.
Thank you.
I really like how you paint the pictures that inspire these songs. And on that one, if I could read a
course.
page from your journal, because you included just a little, it was almost like a little sonnet from your journal that you found like a year later and
Yeah.
you had a hard time reading the handwriting. But it says September 3rd, 2015, somewhere in Nevada, 4 p.m., drinking Heineken in our underwear outside of Elko, Nevada at a rest stop. We are too broke to cross the state line. We are rich in love. That's nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the blogs are really fun to write. I think I'm better at writing than talking, so yeah, they're online for everyone to read.
Yeah. So are a lot of your songs kind of based on some of these road trips?
Yeah, and just the experiences that we've had on those journeys, maybe not necessarily about being on the road, but we were traveling a lot. So yeah, written and inspired by many different places.
That van, by the way, little epilogue, what happened to that van?
We sold it as soon as we moved to Austin to a lady that was from Waco, Texas. She was going to make a food truck out of it.
Yeah.
So it went to a really good home. I was very happy to get rid of it. It was a huge eyesore and a problem for anyone who was storing it for us at the time. He was less happy about that. So.
Oh, well, sorry. Well, condolences. Far be it from me to like suggest songwriting material, but you could write another song, like a little follow-up about that van, the food truck. It's new life as a food truck. Tacos or burritos, whatever it is.
It would be so funny if I saw that again someday.
Maybe you will.
In Waco.
The amount of traveling you're doing, Taylor, you just might, because you've moved from Santa Cruz to Austin now, and now you're on this tour, snaking up and down the East Coast, or at least our corner of the Southeast anyway.
Yep.
You're playing tonight at White Horse Black Mountain. And then you've got some time off from the stage anyway, probably doing some other work. But then you're playing next Wednesday at Isis Music Hall in Asheville.
Yep.
So your first North Carolina tour.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I've heard so many amazing things about this state, and so far I love it.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's great. Beautiful.
More songwriting fodder.
Absolutely. I
for
think
the-
that's what I'm going to do with my time off for the next week.
All right. Good.